If you're 90 plus and you think strong legs are a myth, you're about to be proven wrong. Imagine stepping onto a staircase and feeling the confidence of a younger self, or simply standing up from a chair without that familiar wobble. What if the secret isn't a grueling workout, but something you can eat every single day? A leading orthopedic surgeon just revealed the one food that rebuilds leg muscle even at 90. Stay with me for the next several minutes and I'll tell you exactly what to eat, why it works, and how to add it to your plate tonight. I'm Dr. Laura Martinez, senior physiotherapist and health science communicator. I've spent decades helping older adults regain mobility, and I've partnered with Dr. James Patel, a board-certified orthopedic surgeon with 30 years of experience treating seniors. Together, we've seen a common pattern. Most older adults lose leg strength because chronic inflammation, reduced protein synthesis, and hidden nutrient gaps conspire against them. In today's discussion, you'll learn first why ordinary protein alone isn't enough. Second, the single food that tackles inflammation, stimulates muscle growth, and fuels joints. And third, a simple 3-step daily routine you can start tonight. Let's first understand what's really happening inside our legs as we age. Most seniors experience a silent thief called chronic inflammation. Inflammation is the silent thief stealing muscle fibers from your thighs and calves. When inflammatory cytokines stay elevated, they block the mTOR pathway, the master switch for muscle protein synthesis. The first step then is to keep the daily C-reactive protein under 3 milligrams per liter. The easiest way: reduce processed sugars and add anti-inflammatory foods. Have you already tried cutting back on sugary snacks? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what worked for you. Now, why does ordinary protein fall short? Many rely on chicken or whey, assuming more protein equals stronger legs. At 70 plus, the body's ability to absorb leucine drops dramatically. Without the right leucine trigger, extra protein just sits in the gut. The solution is to add 0.4 grams of leucine per kilogram of body weight per meal. For a 70 kilogram person, that's about 28 grams of leucine each time you eat. Notice the pattern. We need a food that does 2 jobs at once. Enter the surgeon's secret: Greek yogurt enriched with whey-infused spirulina. This may sound unexpected, but let's break it down. First, Greek yogurt is already rich in casein and whey, providing a steady stream of amino acids. Second, spirulina adds a concentrated source of leucine as well as omega-3 fatty acids that combat inflammation. Third, the probiotic cultures in yogurt improve gut absorption, ensuring those amino acids actually reach your muscles. Together, they create a triple action formula that rebuilds leg muscle, calms joint pain, and supports overall vitality. How does this combination work on a cellular level? The leucine from spirulina spikes the mTOR pathway, signaling your cells to start building new protein strands. Simultaneously, the omega-3 fats reduce the production of inflammatory cytokines, removing the brake that normally slows muscle growth in older bodies. Finally, the probiotics balance your gut microbiome, which is crucial because a healthy gut improves nutrient uptake and reduces systemic inflammation. In simple terms, you're giving your legs the exact blueprint and raw material they need while clearing away the construction barriers. Now I'll walk you through a practical routine you can adopt tonight. First, choose a plain low-fat Greek yogurt, about 1 cup. Second, stir in a tablespoon of whey protein powder, preferably an isolate to keep extra sugars low. Third, add a teaspoon of spirulina powder, which is enough to deliver the leucine boost without altering the flavor dramatically. Mix well and enjoy it as a post-dinner snack. If you're not a fan of the green hue, blend it into a smoothie with a handful of berries. The antioxidants there add another layer of anti-inflammatory power. You might wonder, is this safe for someone with a sensitive stomach? The answer is yes, provided you start with a modest amount of spirulina and monitor how you feel. Many seniors report improved digestion within a week thanks to the probiotic boost. And because the protein source is whey isolate, it's low in lactose, reducing the risk of discomfort. Remember, the goal is consistency, not a one-time miracle. Have you tried spirulina before? Share your experience below. It helps the community learn together. Let's recap the 3 essential steps. First, tame chronic inflammation by cutting sugar and adding anti-inflammatory foods. Second, ensure you hit the leucine threshold with a reliable source like whey-infused spirulina. Third, make this combination a nightly habit, letting your muscles repair while you sleep. When you follow this protocol, you'll notice steadier climbs upstairs, a firmer grip on your cane, and a renewed confidence in everyday movements. If this information is opening new possibilities for you, hit that subscribe button and join us for more evidence-based health breakthroughs. And if today's tip resonated, give this video a like. It tells the algorithm that you value practical, science-backed advice. In our next segment, we'll explore how targeted mobility exercises can amplify the benefits of this nutrition plan, turning modest gains into lasting strength. Stay tuned, and remember, stronger legs at 90 are not a fantasy. They are a reachable reality. If you're ready to see how movement can turn the nutrition you just learned about into real tangible power, let's walk through the 3 simple mobility routines that Dr. James Patel swears by for his patients over 90. These are not high-impact gymnastics. They are gentle, joint-friendly sequences that you can perform on a sturdy chair or by the side of your bed. The goal is to awaken the muscles you've just fed, improve circulation, and reinforce the neural pathways that tell your brain, I can move safely. First, let us consider why mobility matters at this stage of life. When we age, the connective tissue that surrounds our joints loses elasticity. Collagen fibers become thinner, and the synovial fluid that lubricates the joint capsule becomes less viscous. This creates a subtle but persistent resistance to movement, which the brain interprets as a threat. As a result, we unconsciously limit our range of motion, which in turn accelerates muscle atrophy. The cycle can feel inevitable, but it is reversible if we intervene with purposeful, low-stress motion. So what does the first routine look like? It is called the seated heel lift. Begin by sitting upright on a chair with your feet flat on the floor, hip-width apart. Place your hands lightly on the armrest for stability. Inhale slowly, then exhale as you lift both heels a few centimeters off the ground, keeping the balls of your feet planted. Hold this position for a count of 3 breaths, feeling the calf muscles contract. Then lower the heels gently back to the floor. That is 1 repetition. Aim for 8 to 10 repetitions, pausing for a breath between each. The science behind this is straightforward. Lifting the heels activates the gastrocnemius and soleus muscles, which are essential for push-off power when you climb stairs. At the same time, the movement stimulates the Achilles tendon, encouraging it to retain its tensile strength. Because you are seated, the load on the knee and hip joints is minimal, making it safe even if you have mild osteoarthritis. Now, you might wonder, will this simple lift really make a difference for my legs? The answer lies in the principle of muscle memory. Each time you repeat the heel lift, motor neurons fire in a consistent pattern, reinforcing the neural circuitry that governs calf activation. Welt the som de koller dit the get frams o kapabita queso bieno. Number son and the yawiskif tree just times though tudigish below. Motor neurons fire and fursen clashrik. So fursen for son by Kate. So due to not all the know the wants fart is not mots the heart. Number chord ka collards the 4 of her son by Kate's go bieno war set. Number chord ka collards towards pop so be away 2D to bull to or well verse. Friolate 2 to well over weeks. Those pathways become more efficient and the muscles respond with greater force even to everyday tasks like standing up from a chair. Combine this with the leucine-rich yogurt you're already consuming and you give your body the building blocks it needs to repair those tiny tears that occur with each contraction. Moving on to the second routine, we call it the standing hip abduction. This one can be performed next to a sturdy countertop or a walking aid if you need extra support. Start by standing tall, feet hip-width apart, and place one hand lightly on the surface for balance. Shift a small amount of weight onto the standing leg, then slowly lift the opposite leg out to the side, keeping the knee straight but not locked. Aim to raise the leg until you feel a gentle stretch in the outer thigh. Hold for 2 breaths, then lower it back down with control. Perform 6 to 8 repetitions on each side. The purpose of this movement is twofold. First, it targets the gluteus medius, a muscle that stabilizes the pelvis during gait and prevents the common waddling pattern that can lead to falls. Second, the lateral motion encourages blood flow through the small vessels that supply the hip joint, delivering oxygen and nutrients that support cartilage health. By engaging the hip abductors, you also promote better alignment of the knee, reducing undue stress on the joint surfaces. You might ask yourself, is it safe to do this if I have a history of hip pain? The key is to keep the motion within a comfortable range and to avoid any sharp pain. The movement should feel like a light stretch, not a strain. If you notice discomfort, reduce the height of the lift or perform the exercise while seated, mimicking the same leg outward motion. The principle remains: activate the stabilizing muscles without overloading the joint. The third and final routine is the supine knee march. Lie on your back on a firm but comfortable surface. Your mattress or a yoga mat works well. Keep a pillow under your head if you prefer. Bend your knees so that your feet rest flat on the floor, hip width apart. Inhale, then exhale as you slowly straighten one leg, bringing it a few centimeters off the ground as if you were marching in place while lying down. Keep the opposite foot planted. Hold for a breath, then lower the leg back down and repeat on the other side. Continue alternating for 10 to 12 cycles. This exercise is particularly valuable because it isolates the quadriceps without placing weight on the knee joint. The quadriceps are essential for extending the knee during the push-off phase of walking, and strengthening them can dramatically improve your ability to rise from a seated position. Moreover, the rhythmic nature of the march promotes a mild cardiovascular response, encouraging blood flow throughout the lower body, which aids in the delivery of the amino acids from your yogurt spirulina blend. Now let's connect the dots between nutrition and movement. The whey protein you added provides the leucine surge needed to trigger muscle protein synthesis. The spirulina supplies a spectrum of micronutrients, iron, magnesium, and B vitamins that support energy metabolism and reduce oxidative stress. When you pair those nutrients with the 3 mobility sequences, you create a synergistic loop. The food supplies the raw materials, the movement signals the body to use those materials where they are most needed, and the increased blood flow from the exercises ensures those nutrients reach the target muscles efficiently. A common misconception is that seniors need to rest to avoid injury. In reality, gentle, consistent movement is the antidote to the frailty that develops from inactivity. Think of your muscles as a garden. The protein you consume is the fertilizer, but without watering, i.e. circulation generated by movement, the plants will not thrive. By integrating the heel lift, hip abduction, and knee march into your daily routine, you water the garden while feeding it, ensuring robust growth. You may be wondering how often you should perform these routines. The answer is simple. Aim for one session in the morning and another in the evening, ideally after your protein-rich snack. Consistency is the most powerful factor. Even if you can only spare a few minutes, the cumulative effect over weeks and months will translate into noticeable improvements. Many of Dr. James Patel's patients report being able to ascend a flight of stairs without pausing after just 6 weeks of this combined approach. Let's pause for a moment and reflect. Imagine waking up, moving through your morning routine with confidence and feeling the subtle yet steady strength returning to your legs. Picture yourself stepping onto a curb without the fear of a stumble, or reaching for a grocery bag without relying heavily on a cane. This vision is not a distant fantasy. It is a realistic outcome of disciplined nutrition and purposeful mobility. At this point, you might have questions. Perhaps you're curious about how to adapt these exercises if you have limited balance, or whether you can incorporate a light resistance band for added challenge. Feel free to drop those questions in the comments below. The community thrives when we share tips and troubleshoot together, and Dr. James Patel often answers the most insightful queries in his follow-up videos. Before we move on, let's recap the essential takeaways so they stay clear in your mind. First, tame chronic inflammation by cutting processed sugars and embracing anti-inflammatory foods such as berries, leafy greens, and fatty fish. And second, meet the leucine threshold with a daily cup of low-fat Greek yogurt enriched with whey isolate and a teaspoon of spirulina. Third, embed the 3 mobility routines: seated heel lift, standing hip abduction, and supine knee march into your day, performing them twice daily for optimal muscle building signaling. When these pillars are in place, you create an environment where leg muscles not only stop deteriorating, but begin to rebuild, even at an advanced age. If this roadmap resonates with you, consider giving this video a thumbs up. Your feedback helps the platform understand that practical, science-based content is valuable, and it lets others who are searching for real solutions discover this guide. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button so you won't miss the next episode, where we'll dive deeper into balance-enhancing drills that complement today's strength program. Now let's look ahead to the next segment, which focuses on balance and proprioception, the body's internal sense of position that keeps you steady on your feet. Dr. James Patel will demonstrate 3 simple drills that you can practice on a sturdy mat or even on the carpeted floor of your living room. These drills involve gentle weight shifts, ankle mobilizations, and visual focus techniques that train the nervous system to respond quickly and accurately. By pairing them with the nutrition and mobility plan you've just learned, you'll set the stage for a comprehensive whole-body approach to leg health. Before we transition, I want to leave you with one final thought. Strengthening your legs at 90 is not about defying biology. It is about respecting the remarkable adaptability of the human body. When you feed it the right nutrients and move it with intention, you awaken a regenerative capacity that many assume is lost forever. Your legs can become a source of pride, independence, and joy once again. Thank you for staying with me through this detailed exploration. Remember, the journey to stronger legs begins with a single bite of protein-rich yogurt and a modest lift of the heels. Keep that momentum, stay curious, and share your progress with the community. Together, we'll turn the myth of too old to get stronger into a story of empowerment and vitality. Stay tuned for the balance segment, and until then, keep moving, keep nourishing, and keep believing in the power of your own resilience.